When Shirley Tillman addressed Princeton University's class of 2005 on a warm spring day 3 years ago, her message was simple.
As you prepare to leave Princeton, I trust that the social and political consciousness you have cultivated here give you the conviction and the courage to take a stand against tyranny and injustice wherever it arises.
It's a message that's been echoed by many university presidents on numerous campuses throughout the nation, who have called upon their respective communities to take up the banner of universal human rights. But in the face of a complicated situation that presents varied options, a focus on international justice or academic freedom can sometimes fall behind other competing interests. For Princeton, there are few better examples than the university's relationship with the People's Republic of China. At stake, according to eminent East Asian Studies scholar Perry Link, is the diversity of China policy in the face of the current status quo.
There's a group of China policy managers, is a good phrase for it, whose main career is built around managing the U.S.-China relationship. And when they refer to China here, this group always means the Chinese government. The word China comes to mean what the government thinks, not what the vast Chinese population.
Until very recently, Link taught at Princeton. Since 1996, he's been barred from entering China, blacklisted by the Chinese government, not allowed to travel there to conduct research or meet his friends. Link says that conflicts between access and independence plague academics studying China and the institutions that house them.
American universities as a group are giving a lot. And I'm not opposed to this. I think this is good. But giving a lot to Chinese students to come. And then when the other side of the question comes up, should this self-censorship that hurts not only the individuals on the blacklist, like me, and there are about a dozen American scholars on the lists that I'm on. It's not just the 12 of us. It really affects the whole China field in a deep way when everyone down to undergraduate students self-censor. That's a serious problem, and American universities ought to put that on the table.
It's a complicated relationship of give and take, with undergraduate study abroad programs and faculty access to archives on the line. However, Anne-Marie Slaughter, the dean of Princeton's Woodrow Wilson School, says the conflict between access and independence may not be all it seems. She says Princeton is a strong institution that can rise above questions of access, with individual faculty members bearing the brunt of any risk associated with their controversial work.
As a university, I see no danger because, in the first place, Princeton is very strong and very secure, and there are many, many places we can be connected to. If we ever felt that to be connected even to the most prestigious universities in China was going to compromise what we do, we would simply sever the association and find other places to associate. Or not. That may not be true of all institutions. It may be part of the luxury of being Princeton.
That said, there's another factor that complicates the situation: potential conflicts of interest stemming from monetary investment and private corporate affiliations. Millions of dollars of Princeton's vaunted endowment are invested directly in companies doing business in China, or in hedge funds with significant percentages of investments in the Chinese economy. That's according to a 2002 printout of the university's investments obtained by WPRB. According to tax filings, the university also has foreign financial accounts in China, dating back several years, and a significant number of Princeton's trustees have business ties to China. Chief among them is Google's CEO and Princeton alumni Eric Schmidt. Google has come under harsh criticism in recent years for bowing to pressure to censor certain content in the Chinese version of the Internet search engine. Schmidt has said in 2006 that the company would not lobby for lifting of these restrictions because, quote, "I think it's arrogant for us to walk into a country where we are just beginning to operate and tell that country how to operate." Schmidt explained the decision to Portfolio magazine in this 2006 interview.
And the problem is that if your mission is to serve all the world's citizens, it doesn't say excluding Chinese. And so we faced that as a moral challenge, and we spent an awful lot of time debating this, and we decided ultimately that we would delete some of the things from the search engine that are not legal under Chinese law. This is a relatively small number of things, but obviously it's the things that people care a lot about, who worry about these things.
Since 2005, the same year that Google expanded operations into China, President Tillman has served on the corporate board, netting a handsome compensation for her work that's estimated to be worth upwards of $1.8 million in company stock. While it's impossible to say whether any of these financial associations change the way the university approaches China, or even the way China approaches the university, Princeton appears to have done little to advocate on behalf of academics out of favor with the Chinese. While not even everyone on the blacklist thinks the university ought to intervene on scholars' behalves, Link, for his part, wishes he'd seen more action on the part of institutions to advocate on behalf of academics left out in the cold.
After all, we're book people. I'm not a counter-revolutionary. I wouldn't know a gun or a knife if I could see one. This is really ideas. We're talking about freedom of expression, and I just think it's too bad when people don't raise the issue and don't try to do something about it.
For WPRB News, I'm Sebastian Jones.